What's up, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder, and as some of you saw the other day, the world's greatest sandwich maker. She makes epic sandwiches.
Well, now I'm greatest. I'm not okayest.
Well, okayest for fun, but she is one of the greatest sandwich makers on the planet. We're going to get into this question of, is the trucking brotherhood, sisterhood, I'm saying brotherhood because that's what I always hear, is the trucking brotherhood dead? I'm going to give you my opinion here shortly, but as an update, we are in Pittston, empty trailer hell. We have a load. For those who watched the live last night, no, it is not the load that was proposed last night. 5 or 6 of you said, don't take that load. Jenna said, don't take that load.
One of these days he's gonna learn that when my instant reaction is don't take that load, it's because I know he's not gonna like it.
Her instinct is always correct on like
everything. She
rarely ever says no to a load to me, but every time she has, we've ended up saying no. So we said no to that load. I got up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, went inside Pittston, took a shower, got some work done, and another load came in, which goes to where we want, but there's no empty trailers. It's always a bad sign when you go into Pittston trailer shop and say you need to get in line for a trailer and they say, we'll call you. Not good. Anyway, so we're just waiting on an empty and then we're gonna get out of here, but let's get into this trucking brotherhood conversation in just a second. Okay, so is the trucking brotherhood dead? We hear this all the time on CB. Jenna actually is more active on the CB probably than I am. But you hear it all the time on a CB, these old schoolers, old timers, super truckers. The brotherhood's dead. Truckers don't help anymore like they used to. You guys know the drill. Now, brotherhood, I'm just using...
Rookies are ruining it for all of us.
You steering wheel holders are ruining it for all of us. You don't care about anyone else. Don't help each other. And when I say brotherhood, I mean sisterhood. I mean all of it, but it's the old school term that I'm using here.
We're just going to use brotherhood for the lack of a better term.
The trucking brotherhood. It is, as they see it, truck drivers sit down in a diner, smoking cigarettes in the morning, drinking coffee, swapping I don't cares, and
talking about how they rolled a load 15 times but still got it there on time.
Yeah, reminiscing about paper logs and all that good stuff. And apparently in many drivers' minds, especially those who've been driving for a long time, the brotherhood can only exist in an offline world. And here's why I think that is a total misrepresentation of where we are to say that the brotherhood is dead. And a perfect example is the community, all of you watching this video right now, the community that we're surrounded with. You guys need to understand, Jen and I talk to and help and collaborate with probably 20 or 30 future drivers, currently in training, current drivers, every single day. I mean, like talking on the phone, text messaging, going through our Discord, our social network app, on Facebook, the Prime Inc. PSD TNT students group. I mean, daily this is happening.
Somebody gives our number out to somebody else who's afraid to ask messages publicly, and they'll just share our
yeah, if you're on our Discord, the link is down below. More than 350 drivers are on there now. Every single day there are truck drivers helping truck drivers. Every single day in that group. In the Facebook group, every single day there's truck drivers helping truck drivers. In our social app, which has more than 500 drivers, every single day there are truck drivers helping truck drivers. And here at Prime, there's truck drivers walking around helping truck drivers. Inside Pittston, there's truck drivers helping truck drivers. On the CB, still to this day, there are truck drivers helping truck drivers. So the only difference is that we're organized online. Like, it is a digital world that we live in now. Like, you can't just look at that and say, well, screw that, that's not the way it should be. I'm sure that someone who had a business of selling horses and carriages were upset about the combustible engine, and probably pounding their fists saying, these people running around in combustible engines, they don't know what it's like, the brotherhood's dead, or it's stuff like the only thing that's guaranteed is that change will occur. Well, in death and taxes, but change will happen. And to just stomp your feet and say, that everything's dead because the way that it was is no longer is silly. The brotherhood or the sister or whatever you want to call it is alive and well, and it's thriving, and we're thrilled to be a part of it. I mean, look at this YouTube channel. We have 2,200 roughly subscribers. We have almost 1,000 people watch every single one of our videos.
Which I've said it before and I'll say it again. It always cracks me up because I think we're just nerds.
We are just nerds.
Why do you guys watch us?
But we're trying to put content up to help you guys. Some of it might help you become better drivers. Some of it might just help you pass the time. A lot of our stuff is just vlogs, But in the comment section, we're learning a lot from you guys too. It's a two-way street. The whole reason that we call our channel driver lineup is because, like NASCAR that has a driver lineup, FedEx has a driver lineup, Prime Inc. has a driver lineup. That is a place where information comes and goes. You bring your bills, you pick up bills. You find out where your trailer is, you drop off trailers. It is an exchange of information. It's where you get help. It's where you provide help. It's, all the whole concept of our channel and this community that we've built around it is a brotherhood, a trucker brotherhood and sisterhood and family and community. Remy, she's been quiet all freaking morning. This is becoming a thing.
Do you want the chair?
When the camera comes on and YouTube video making starts, Remy loses her mind. Maybe it's because she knows that we're supposed to look. She knows we're supposed to be showing her on YouTube more often, according to many of you. Remy, do you just want to be on camera? Is that what's going on? Baby girl, are you just mad because you're not on camera enough? Is that what's going on? So anyway, when I hear this brotherhood is dead stuff, it's like, what are you talking about? What are you? Because I can't keep up with it. There's so much interaction and collaboration and help going back and forth. I think it's actually probably more alive and well than it ever was before, honestly. Because now your ability to communicate and interact with other truck drivers is vastly greater than it was when it was 6 or 7 people sitting in a diner smoking cigarettes. So in my opinion, it's more alive and well than it ever has been. It's just not the way that it was. And this whole idea that drivers don't help each other is just false. It's just
aren't social with each other.
Yeah, it's just false.
I ran into a handful of people that I know
Jen's
yesterday.
been hanging out with drivers for the last 24 hours. She's been
swapped I don't cares.
playing with she played with a super cute puppy yesterday. What kind of dog was that?
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu. Super cute puppy. He was asleep in a dash in a truck across from us.
That thing is hell on legs.
But what are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? And then they make fun of us for backup, or you only turn your radio when the backup's on. Well, part of that's because a lot of you douchebags are on the CB just spouting off racist shit and playing your AM radio over the air. Look, we have a CB, and oftentimes we have to turn it off just because of the junk the old schoolers are talking on there.
I get propositioned a lot when I try to be helpful and be like, hey, eastbound, you're about to run into, some issues over there. And
yeah, we'll turn I keep the CB on if it's foggy, if it's rainy, if it's, lots of mountains, especially at night, if the traffic's backed up and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, what lane you need to be in, things like that. But they get mad at us for that. And it's like, well, what do you expect? If you're just going to be on there spouting off racist shit all day long, I don't want to hear that. Like, I'm not interested in that. So it's really the very people that are complaining about it, they killed. They're part of the trucking brotherhood. All of us steering wheel holders, us new schoolers, there's a big brotherhood out here, sisterhood, trucker family, whatever you want to call it. Man, it's alive and well, and it is thriving. And Jen and I feel it day in and day out. There's not a day that goes by that we're not getting texts and calls from other drivers, and they're helping us, and we're helping them. And it's
just like yesterday on the live, we're going over the issue of, oh yeah, it's hard to get off the yard with load choice, and somebody sends suggestions via text of how to get around some of these things, and it's like, people sharing knowledge.
We're learning things every day from other drivers, and we're trying to help other drivers learn things every day from us, and that is exactly what a lot of you out there say doesn't exist anymore.
But I think a lot of it comes down to perception. Just like you're going to find what you're looking to see, right? So if you're looking around you to say the brotherhood's dead, you're just gonna find things that make it look like the brotherhood is dead. If you're one of the ones who realizes that there are still good people out here, we do help each other, there is a connection, you're going to see that. It's like waking up in the morning and being like, you have the mindset of most people are generally trying to be helpful and friendly. Or if you wake up in the morning and you say everybody sucks, how is your day going to go with each of those mindsets? That's a big part of it.
And before closing, I want to add one more thing here. I get really tired of hearing these steering wheel holders, automatic truck drivers are what's making truck stops filthy with pee bottles and all that stuff. Let me tell you guys something. I worked at a Blue Beacon and a Pilot when I was in high school. When I was 16, 17 years old. I worked at a Blue Beacon when I was 16, 17. I was shift supervisor at Blue Beacon. I also worked graveyard at a Pilot, exit 46, Fernley, Nevada. You guys will be familiar. Some of you guys will be familiar with that Pilot. There was piss bottles and trash all over that place back in the 90s. So knock it off with, it's always been that way. There's shitheads, and there always has been, and there always will be, and that's unfortunate. But if you go look at, who is it? I can't remember the name. It was a Prime driver who just upgraded. He was talking about in his videos, and he wasn't just tooting his own horn, but he's talking about in his videos when he stops for a 30-minute break, he'll go out for 5 minutes and pick up trash. Jenna does it too. She'll go outside and pick up trash. We've seen other new school automatic drivers walking around picking up trash. I don't see any old school super truckers walking around picking up trash. And I don't mean to make this about new versus old, but it's the old schoolers that are out here bitching about automatic drivers all day long going down the road saying the brotherhood's dead.
All I hear when I hear the brotherhood is dead is I remember this scene off South Park where the older people in town are sitting there screaming, they took our jobs, rabble, rabble, rabble. And it's like, it's just noise. It's just noise. At some point, there are always going to be new people in your career path, because the realization is you grow old, and at some point, somebody is going to replace you. And if there, is something that the new school steering wheel holders are doing wrong, instead of just bitching about it, how about share some of that knowledge? Yeah. How about be a mentor? Because what good are you if you're just sitting there running your mouth?
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see.
I don't, you know, and the CDL out of a Cracker Jack. It's as if, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you somehow magically didn't have to learn how to drive a truck. You know, everybody had to learn to drive a truck.
Back then, you just dropped out of the womb and knew how to shift.
Yeah,
you know,
like the whole, you know, when we're at truck stops and people are bitching about, you know, a student trying to back a truck up, if it's Prime or anybody, it doesn't matter. Everybody had a first time to back a truck up. Like, just because you've been doing it for 20 years doesn't mean that it's shitty that someone else has to do it their first time. And I'm not trying to say new school steering wheel holders, automatic drivers are better than old. I'm not, please don't. I know this sounds like a new versus old, and it kind of is, but I'm not saying we're better. I'm just saying there's good and bad of the new drivers, and there's good and bad of the old school drivers. But to allege that we've ruined it all and that the brotherhood's dead and that we're destroying trucking is just stupid. It's just stupid. In a lot of ways, the innovation that's out here has made it better. Like the brotherhood, the ability to organize with hundreds, if not thousands of people, other drivers online, makes the brotherhood substantially stronger. But if you're not plugged into those communities and you're not going into diners anymore and smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee, then I'm sure to you, it looks like the community in trucking doesn't exist. But that's not the reality. So anyway, I'm going to close this one down. Thank you guys so much, as always. Seriously, you can't thank you guys enough for the support of this channel. You know, we didn't come to YouTube with an existing subscriber base. It was a brand new channel we created less than a year ago. And to have the energy and the support that we have around this channel is really something that we're constantly grateful for. So thank you so much. Be safe, guys. Make good decisions. And as always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.